69 degrees. Let's see. 70, 69. It's got to be 69. That's 69 degrees. 69 degrees. Oh, shit. Yeah, what's cracking? What's going on, guys? I'm going to let the music play a little bit. It's going to be the last one for the night anyway. Because of Snoo, I don't know if she's on. Let me see. Anybody who's in here? Rondo, Patricia Slade. Hey. Humble French, what's going on? Well, anyway, because of Snoo, the Snoozy. Yeah, Humble French, she almost made that moderator. Anyway, because of Snoo, I've been watching, instead of finishing the other ones, right? I've been watching Shogun Assassin. Now I'm doing. Let me see. Y'all might be good luck for me. We are all good luck. I hate that word good luck, but you know. Let me see if I can. I'm using my tablet for light. I don't like that ring like I got from Amazon. It's bright, and after I turn it off, sitting because I do readings with a vet group, not like book readings. Some other thing, right? Anyway. And I turn away and I see blue and purple and green dots, like for like an hour. Like, what in the fuck? Walking around, I'm like, what that green dot? What circles? Like dots. I'm like, the refraction from, and because I don't look at it every once in a while, because it's there, it looks stupid to me. I mean, some of y'all might be used to doing that shit. I'm not a content creator. I just like to read videos and talk about some of the things going on. I got a story to tell. Anyway, I don't like putting it up. It fits right there perfect. I got it on the flat stand, and I got the tripod stand. The other one, the little small one that's got the power charge. This little light right here, I could deal with it. You know what I mean? It doesn't stay in my, It doesn't even bother my peripheral. You know what I mean? Because my peripheral, like, I can see my hand right here. I can see both my hands right here. So you see how far back my peripheral is? Like, right. This one I see. I can see this hand right here. I can see it right about here. And this one I can see you right about there. So, yep. I can see the fingers wiggling, and that's looking straight ahead. So it's not bothering me here, but that ring. I don't know if it's because I watched the movie The Ring, all of them, and the one from Japan, and everybody at the TV and the ring, and I don't know. Maybe that might be it. So we're gonna begin the readings. We're just gonna get a couple of chapters in. Excuse me. If we get enough ladies, I might just do a night where, like I used to do in Montclair and in New York. I used to go to an all ladies poetry club. The only reason why I used to go there because I knew some of the ladies from nude model, nude yoga, Krav Maga, and because I was training some kids to get them ready for the police force, and some kids who wanted to go to the military. So they heard me talking about a lot of stuff, and they always saw me walking with a bag full of books that have nothing to do with anything. And I was like, yeah, I like to read. And it's like, would you mind coming in, like reading some of our poems? Like some of us don't like to get up on stage and talk. I was like, I have to come there like early in the day, and y'all meet me and see how I sound and what it looks like. If I'll be sitting, standing, mic, all that. So I did that for a couple of years in New York. Jersey, I only did it for about 2-3 months because that's when I went to New York, and I didn't even come back to that bookstore. I loved it. I love the sisters there. A lot of them didn't even go up there in Montclair. At the book club was nobody I knew. On Bloomfield Avenue, it was a like a little night spot, but at a certain time of night, I think it was on Thursday nights, if I remember right. It's been a long, long time since 2000. So it was pretty cool, But first, we're gonna read Reptilians in the History of Humankind, Anunnaki, and then The Gods of Eden by William Bramley. So Henry Kane and William Bramley, and then we're going to go into DNA of the Gods, Nephilim, I guess you could say Enoch, and the exposing the expositions. So we're gonna do the Book of Giants. So I'm not gonna worry about the other one. Read that yesterday. Take it back to tomorrow. So read these. And of course I got books I want to read, but patience and time. I made me some lime and ginger, and I think I put too much lime in it. You really don't want to do a whole lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Especially if, like, it's one thing to eat a lemon, a lime, it's the same thing, a lemon. But I like to sip on it every once in a while. Just give me a little electric, a little electric. And then usually when I have this lemon and ginger, I just drink. Lime and ginger, I usually like to eat it with avocado. You know what I'm saying? Avocado. Or avocado. You ever had an avocado and had a banana? Jesus Christ. Banana and avocado cut up and eat together with a little cinnamon on it. Man, good healthy fat. You've got your magnesium, potassium, especially if you boil the skin of the banana. And then with the cinnamon, you got blood pressure control. Not that you really need it, but if you're spiking your sugar all the time, that's what's giving you high blood pressure. Spike your sugar. That means insulin restriction. Trust me, it's there. You know what I mean? And these doctors don't want you to tell you the truth. They probably only know the truth, and then they give you a medication that messes you up even further, complicating the problem when it's an easily remedied problem. I don't know why people get into all that arguing shit. Like, they gotta go. All the people that got lies. People go and watch. I know some of them really want to hear something more. Now, I know some of y'all been there and follow those individuals. But if it ain't time for a change, then what is it? We've always heard the word change used by the CIA to thwart or divert from it. Just like when they started having people talking about woke. None of those people talking about woke are awake. None of them. Zero. But that was to capture, take a word, and make it mean nothing with the people who actually mean nothing. You and I literally mean something, but it's their job to be the enemy and to counter anything that we're about to do. And as we've been waking up over the last 20 years, I mean, really waking up, they've been looking at it, running their data and everything else. Okay? And when they realized that they had to hit this thing full speed ahead, they're not going to stop. Maybe if they do, I'd be surprised. I don't want them to. I don't care what I don't care if they're working with people 20 feet tall. I don't care if they're working with people from, let's say there's out of all the membranes, there is a force that just did this experiment. I wouldn't care. Let's just say, it's hypothetical. It's throwing things in the wind. All right? It don't mean shit. My dreams, man. I don't even like calling them dreams. Yo, West Side, what's cracking, bro? I don't even like calling them dreams no more. You dig what I'm saying? But I noticed that a lot of people like to be on pages where they argue. And I believe some of the individuals actually believe they're satiated, that they're full. They're getting it. And I'm sitting there going, I can't believe people could be that damn dumb. Some people might argue that in the case of what I read. But most people, because they've, been to the little classrooms of the Moorish movement or the Nuwapian or all this other goopy shit, there's tickets and there's puzzle pieces and there's tickets there, but there's no fucking prize. There is never going to be no prize. It's either people snap about their coma, they realize that love is the answer, and they also move in a way that can be seen, but is literally undetectable. All right. Y'all saw I just did a video. A good friend of mine. He's Ukrainian. I know him. Ex-Marine. Blah blah blah. Fought in the war. All that. I know a few of them, and they can't stand. This is serious. But I was looking at everything that was laying out, and even what I said. And when I said it, because I hate war. I detest war. But you're gonna have to fight one or die, one or the other. I don't know. It's your choice. All right, trust me on this. And yeah, you're at war right now. You're just lazy and asleep about it. But him and his mom watch, you know, and it's like shit. Let me do this because I said it live. I've said it a few times. It's not Ukraine. It's not really all the people. It's the governments. Y'all know I can't stand these fucking governments and these little. I mean, come on. I knew it, and all of a sudden, in the last couple of weeks, oh, we got American and British special force operators. Now, some of them motherfuckers are underground motherfuckers. You don't even know. Not in none of these special forces. These are these motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? They're over there, and they want to instigate and continue it. Because first they were killing the Russian sympathizers in Ukraine. People they know and walk the streets with, went to bookstores and this, that, and the other. Now, I say that as if it's an easy thing to say. It's going to happen right here. But the issue, and then I said racist, you know, but I said Russia. There's more here than there are there. Trust me on this. But the race is a small number. That's just pure, just dumb, fucking dumb. You know, just there's nothing else to it. But my thing was, you know, he came here when he was 3 years old. Parents got away because the way they viewed things, they saw the politicians, they saw everybody as a fucking joke. You know, they didn't even like the ones when they came here, but they knew that, hey, look, we can start different here. They had some ruble, whatever you want to call it, ruble, whatever you call it. They had a lot saved up because of the father. Got here, and he grew up, went in the military. He's in his 30s now. Father divorced for whatever reason. You know, hey, this is in America, businessman, blah, blah, blah. They're well off. And I was like, let me go ahead and apologize for misunderstanding or misinterpretation, because I know quite a few Ukrainians here, and they're not, you know, what the programming has laid out. And I would do that for anybody else, you know what I'm saying? So, and he was like, yo, moms, I went over there. She was like, what do you mean, fuck Ukraine? People? I said, Mom, you know I love you. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, but, you know, people are going to take that different. I was like, you know what? And I do know quite a few. So what do? I change it. Not every one of you know. Some of y'all probably got pale skin associates or whatever. You don't even know what their fucking background is. It don't matter if it's fake or not. That's not what it's about. Person lived their life as such. All right? I'm not here to deny. It's like if you're a Christian, if you're a religious motherfucker, you better be living it. Because I'm going to call Bahumbug. I'm going to call your ass Fugazi with the bullshit. And I do that. If somebody comes to me and they wear they don't even know what the hell they wear around the neck. Right there, that shows they're a slave. I mean, there was 12 to 26 different religions before this fake ass Christianity. I mean, for hundreds of years. And if you don't want to believe me, you're not studied, that's not my goddamn problem. Dead ass serious. Just go back 12 religions, if you can. And they try to bury all that. Anyway, that's why I wanted to explain that. So if you saw it, I hope you watched it to the end. It was legitimate. I'm not gonna say my bro's name. He still kind of works. He still does things. So, but I know his mom likes to listen. She's always busy. Her short ass self, just busy. And I know you're listening. She'll give me that tea, that sweet ass tea. I can't do it. And, you know, give me a big old hug. Wonderful woman. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the reptilians and the history of humankind, the Anunnaki, and Henry Crane. I guess some people are bored. They come in here and they're like, and run off because, you know what? They don't have, I'm going to share this. And if anybody come along and watch this, your impatience is not by your design. Your ADHD, your HDHD, whatever you fucking want to call it, it's not yours, not by design. Because you lack the aptitude for further study or rational reasoning, because you've accepted everything given out to you in firsthand, it's by design. It's not your fault. But when we get to a certain age and we believe we know what the word abstain from, we never practice it or put it into practice. We look at something and we say, well, I've done it before, I could do it again a little bit. That's why a lot of motherfuckers over there in Philly and a few other places in LA, you know, they dropping dead because they're stuck. You see what I'm saying? And if you really, really want to learn something different from you, walking beside somebody, all are welcome. If you can't maintain that shit, there's nothing I can do for you. There is nothing at all. All I can tell you is, like, when I learned Tai Chi, man, I was just sucking this ass shit, slow as fuck. I'm like, who am I gonna hit like this? Who am I gonna be putting my wrist up like this and moving all like, what the and then I realized it was an exercise. It had to be drilled into my head. Then I realized there is a fighting form, and not every Tai Chi practitioner knows that. And so I learned the Shaolin form and the 7-star Manus, which is like when you learn Shaolin, it's a very intricate form to practice, and I do it every other few days. You know what I'm saying? Like every 2 or 3 days, I get up and I go through half of the movements. It's long, and I don't like people when they start watching me. It's not that it bothers me. I just don't want them to see. Like, I'll stand out on my front door and do qigong, or, you know what I'm saying? And it's just for better blood flow. You know, whether I'm doing a bow and arrow stretch, or I decide to do 5 of the exercise out of the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? It's benefit for just breathing, a different kind of breathing. I had to learn patience. I was used to accomplishing and finishing shit fast, because when I was young, I wasn't allowed to finish a goddamn thing. Oh, I built models, this, that, and other, but I was never allowed to really finish what I believe, because otherwise I'd been in the NFL or whatever the fuck. I was never allowed to finish because always something else put up in front of me. Always moving, always another obstacle. What the fuck? But it was the road I had to walk. Okay? So if you choose to be impatient in your life, you've gotten to a certain point, a certain place, where you cannot allow yourself to hear something a little different. They have places out there where can entertain the bullshit you used to. Trust me. Whole lot of folk out there doing it. And I talk about them now because we're at a point where the bullshit, you know, like I told Michael C. Hampton, I says, yo, my man, I don't give a fuck. Here you go with this long dissertation, copy and paste shit. And we Indian shit still. Like, when the fuck is you gonna move on from that? Now, I like my boy Michael C. Hampton, but he's like, nigga, I've been watching you for years, the same shit. Who are you arguing with? What are you arguing for, and for what? And I know some ignorant motherfucker who don't know shit, this in their feelings. Yeah, but some people still don't. Man, shut the fuck up. There's enough people that know it, and if they sit there wanting to be a goddamn from Africa, fuck it. We done crossed that cross. Let me tell you something. We done crossed that cross. There's millions of us who know now, and we still ain't together. Because motherfuckers don't know what patience, and they don't know when they need to get up and move. That should speak volumes. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Reptilians in the history of humankind. Anunnaki, and if you think you're grown and you think you can't have a little tongue lashing, get the fuck on. Because I'm gonna tongue lash a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Now I know she's laughing right now listening to me say that. Because I literally say that everywhere. The extinction of Atlantis and Lemuria. Turn this down a little more. I love jazz too. Bachata, you know what that is? Like opera. Jazz. Nordic. Bluegrass without the Christian shit. Man, I could fuck up a banjo. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Play the harp. It's my shit. R&B is cool, but blues, that deep house Louisiana type motherfucking blues, like You know what I mean? That underground, back in the back, motherfucking behind the goddamn garage type. You know what I'm saying? Country music. And I ain't talking about some bullshit country music. Okay, I'm talking about some very old shit. A lot of brothers, go look at the videos. 1920s and 40s. A lot of niggas were singing country. Came jazz. Look it up for yourself. Anyway, the extinction of Atlantis and Lemuria. The first humans. Set up a little bit. The first human. The first Lulu. The first Homo sapien. I gotta read through some of my markings, people, and write over certain letters. All right, the first human, the first Lulu, and the first Homo sapiens that Enki created was called Adapa, according to the Sumerian tablets. Have any of y'all ever seen the Sumerian tablets or the book? Okay, so I question the authenticity of it, but then again, I just get tired every time they turn around talking about we broke the code, or we learned how to read this Sumerian, all the bullshit they be saying. The information hasn't gone nowhere. It's just that we don't speak our authentic language. Thanks to that fucking 2 to 4 years of having to sit up in some fake ass church, learning to speak this fake ass language. Anyway, which has a lot of our words in it. Anyway, according to the Sumerian tablets, in Christian religion, it would be called Adon. Adon, A-D-A-N. Later, he created the first woman, Lilith, according to the Sumerian tablets. The biblical Eve, Lilith and Eve, one, right? And these two human beings, by a decision of the Anunnaki Council, were taken to the mothership. A very important fact to keep in mind is that the Anunnaki and the Gray Ones, but especially the first, physiologically did not adapt very well to the density of the earth. They got suffocated quickly. After 3 to 7 days on the surface, they began to feel discomfort. It is for this reason that the Gray Ones rebelled against such conditions in submission to this forced labor on the surface of the earth. The reptilians decided to park their mother base in the orbit of the earth, and they only went down to refuel, that is, for water. Isn't it funny how some of those movies you've seen, Skyline, and besides picking up bodies, were always picking up tons of water? What was that one movie? What was that one movie? It had the army guy with the mechanical legs, and they were fighting them big things in them suits, and they would jump around, leapfrog like a frog in the water. The battleship, whatever that was, they had to get to the battleship in Hawaii to fight the creatures back. Remember, it was harvesting water, but they came to conquer the earth too and bring in their troops using water as a... Anyway, you get what I'm saying. I mean, these movies all get ideas from something, right? Anyway, Anu spent most of the time on the ship and rarely went down to earth, while Enki, Enlil, and some other reptilians did. And isn't that funny how it says Enki, Enlil, and all them as far as the Anunnakis? Whenever we look at the statues or the pictures carved in stone, we see these things with these heads that are indigenous to this earth, to especially North America, okay? And then if you go deeper, you see the ones, seriously, go to South America, you see the ones with heads like gators or crocs. They destroyed most of the buildings up here in North America for the purpose of keeping us blind to that reality. So if they were to come back, we would have lost that vision. Now, I told you some people will be triggered. It's within our DNA. So when they decide to show themselves, marching beside certain punk-ass troops with different weapons, okay? How you think you're going to react? How you're going to be like a soft little puddle of fucking poo, wet shit. That's how you're going to be. Slipping out of a diaper, just feigning and shit. All right? Trust me, you will. All right? And anyway, Adapa and Lilith had a privileged treat. Check this out. Had a privileged treat from the Anunnaki, since Anu and the Anunnaki Council really wanted the pure blood of these first Homo sapiens to prevail. The plan was that the descendants of these were created through artificial matrices so that the purity of the blood would be 100%. However, Enki, at the first opportunity he had, confessed to Eva that they were free beings and that they could become like gods, that they could get to experience their emotions. That is when Eva, Lilith, knows the truth and convinces Adapa, to have sex. Anu realized that they had disobeyed his orders and decides to punish them by returning them back to Earth, entrusting Enlil to watch over his ancestry to be the purest blood on Earth. Enki, on the other hand, had already created woman and man to begin to populate the Earth. This first race of Homo sapiens was very intelligent and had highly developed psychic abilities. Unlike us, they had more activated codons in their DNA. Of the 64 to 32 were active, with which they learned more quickly. But this was not what surprised the most of the reptilians. What surprised them the most of Homo sapiens was their ability to feel and express their feelings, something that very few reptilian races had. The plan continued their course, and these Homo sapiens continued to be used as Lulu slaves. Let's finish off with this right here. Whenever I hear the kids, I want to go outside and make sure they're all right. I really do. It's a habit. Not a bad one, but continue the words that the Igigi had left unfinished. The reptilian Anunnaki commissioned the Igigi, the gray ones, to supervise the works. That is why they received the name of those who watch and observe, according to Sumerian tablets, Igigi. And the Anunnaki soon realized that when humans were exalted or suffering, when they expressed their feelings and emotions in a euphoric way, individually or as a group, they emanated subtle vibrations that were detected by the Anunnaki, and that caused them immense pleasure. Wow. And it tells me to go to chapter 2 to understand more about the statement here. Excuse me. It says, see chapter 2 to understand more. And we're just going to read. When we get there, okay? So let's go ahead and mark that. Get into the next. I got pins and shit everywhere. Okay, let's get this one right here. Gods of Eden. Excuse me. Okay, this is the Goddess of Eden. Show you this book again. William Bramley. Stu picked this one for me. I couldn't wait to get it. And you saw the first one, right? Okay. In case anybody wants to get it, I should take the books, write them down, and put them down in what you call it, description, in case anybody wants to purchase them. I'll think about it. All right. So we had got down to the biblical trees, therefore had to be stopped and fast. No. We had got down to spiritual recovery becomes nothing more than a pipe dream. When we were stating about without a foundation in ethics and full spiritual recovery. That's why I said love is so important. Well, the custodians, and I know everybody's like, the custodians, what's the custodians? Custodians of time. Okay. And these books have nothing in relationship. Far from it. They don't even know each other, not at all. Trust me. I did the work. Unless somebody's that good at that's a good lie. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. The custodians clearly did not want mankind to begin traveling the road to spiritual recovery. The reason is obvious. The custodian society wanted slaves. It is difficult to make thralls of people who maintain their integrity and sense of ethics. It becomes impossible when those same individuals are uncowed by physical threats due to a reawakened grasp of their spiritual immortality. Most importantly, if spiritual beings could no longer be trapped in human bodies, but could instead use and abandon bodies at will, there would be no spiritual beings available to animate slave bodies. We just reiterating, because I like this. As we recall, Sumerian tablets revealed a custodial intention to permanently attach spiritual beings to human bodies. Early man's attempts to escape this spiritual bondage by eating from the biblical trees, therefore, had to be stopped and fast. Now, what was we just reading? And the book of Anunnaki, right? Now, there's a greater story about the custodians and the Anunnaki. They warred with each other and made a pact. That's when we had built Tartarian. And then when they returned, it was a major war. Betrayal always comes in many different ways, different forms. And something happened. And every time we would go and start digging out everything, a mud flood would happen. And then all of a sudden, these pale skinned individuals show up. And shit changed. Therefore, and this is, remember I said about Genesis 3, chapter 3, verses 23 to 24. Let's go ahead and just read it real quick. Therefore, the Lord God sent him Adam forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he hath been taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim. They say angels, but that's not what cherubim are, supposedly. And it wasn't part of the story. Anyway, at the east of the Garden of Eden, cherubim, angels, and a flaming sword which turned every way to shield the way. Now, to the tree of life. Now, see the lightning? Imagine a sword that churns every way. Now, we think because of Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur, and all that other bullshit, that's the sword. The big ass thing I got in the corner over there. No, lightning, your tongue is a sword. Lightning is a sword. Comes from the ground up and from the water above, called it split down. And then in the middle, I forget what it's called, but that's where you get the rumbles of thunder. When the two connect because of the ions, and you dig what I'm saying? Yes, lightning comes from the ground up, people. You know why? The earth is like one big capacitor, energy. And we're not utilizing that energy. So when it releases because of this man-made fucktard rain, when the earth used to give up dew before they were poisoning the waters, she's right now going through a cleanse and nobody's aware of it. She's always cleansing and changing and manifesting. These fucking idiots don't even know that. All right? The flame sword symbolizes the no-nonsense measures that the custodians undertook to ensure that genuine spiritual knowledge would never become available to the human race. To further prevent access to such knowledge, Homo sapiens was condemned to an additional fate. And to Adam, I love this, and to Adam, I'll put this right here, God said, because you have listened to the urgings of your wife and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you not to, saying you shall not partake of it, cursed is the ground. And I love this staying, Book of Eli, in the bar scene before he starts cutting motherfuckers' heads off with that beautiful goddamn broadsword, machete, whatever, for you. In toil will you eat its yield for all the days of your life. Thorns, too, and thistles will it bring forth to you, as you eat the plants from the field. By the sweat of your face will you eat bread, until you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust will you return. You know, that's Genesis 3:17-19. That's not the saying. I actually have it down in the living room front with Denzel on his side. I just love the saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this was a highly effective way to deal with Adam's and Eve's original sin. The above passage indicates that custodial rulers intended to make humans live their entire lives and die without ever rising above the level of arduous material existence. That we're in that now. That would leave humans little time to seek out the understanding they needed to become spiritually free. And that's why I always say you've got to ground yourself. You've got to hug them trees, touch them bushes, speak into the wind. Your enemies must fall. You have to vibrate different. Take some cold fucking showers. I'm serious. Stop using chemical deodorants and fluoridated toothpaste, because I know a bunch of you idiots are still using it, killing you goddamn selves. And when you get clothes, if you putting them clothes on your back and on your ass, your coochie and your wang wang, if you putting them clothes on without washing them because they brand new, you are doing a double, triple threat to yourself. Wash them shits. Go and read up on Greenpeace what they said about it. When you wash them, there might be a fraction of the chemicals that these motherfuckers in Khmer Rouge and China and Hong Kong, all these motherfuckers, the chemicals they're using, and this government lets it. But when you wash it appropriately, you get rid of it, no trace, or maybe little fractions that are not harmful. Trust me on this. And your baby's clothes and them damn diapers. Go learn how to wash some shit off out of some cotton, goddamn, or some linen. Like when we was kids, we ain't have no damn Huggies and Loves with all them chemicals and powders and shit. That's why my things still stand up tall and I can skeet all the way to the... I'm just saying. I'm serious. Learn how to get your hands dirty. Shit. Ain't nothing but food packed up. And if you're feeding the baby wrong, you need to deal with that. All right? Okay. You got that clear. This one... Anyway... A common misinterpretation of the Adam and Eve story is that the original sin has something to do with sex or nudity. This confusion comes from that part of the story in which Adam and Eve eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil and immediately become ashamed of their nakedness. It was not nudity, however, that shamed them. Adam and Eve were mortified by what their nakedness represented. Ancient Mesopotamian records depict human beings stark naked when performing tasks for their custodial masters. Custodians, on the other hand, were depicted as being fully clothed. The implication is that Adam and Eve felt degraded by their nakedness. Now, you remember that in the story of the Anunnaki, when they created these, the Enlil, and when they were creating these people, they needed them to be able to be strong. In order for people to be strong, and we've seen the walls, they needed to be fully naked to utilize the energy around them in full. Some of the most powerful warriors maybe wore loincloths at a certain time. Giant, masculine, no body fat, none, no sweating, could run for days, here for miles. Thing of the past. Not too far past, too. So remember that. Okay? The implication is that Adam and Eve felt degraded by their nakedness because it was a sign of their enslavement. Not because being naked in itself is bad. As we have seen, early humans were reported to be a constant headache to their custodial masters. The slave creatures not only disobeyed their rulers, they often banded together and rebelled. This made human unity undesirable to Earth's custodial rulers. It was better that humans be disunited. And one of the ways in which the problem of human unity was solved is described in the biblical story of the Tower of Babel, a tale which also has its roots in early Mesopotamian writings. We're going to shut off with there. And that's why I said in the 1800s, all these so-called people running around calling themselves natives and all this other shit. The reality is, in these boarding schools, what they call boarding schools, those old Tertullian buildings, where they were bringing them, the young ones, and they would bring some older ones. And if the older ones didn't, because they're holding on to where they came from, they kill them. And you've seen what happened in the last couple of years about the Catholic Church and them grounds in Canada, North America over here, and some other places. They've been digging up these teenage bodies from that period, that time. And people just think I was crazy. I said, those are the ones that didn't want to learn this new language and or a fraction of what language they, you know what I'm saying, this new crap. And they didn't want to take on this identity. Remember what I was reading about when they, as far as the terrier goes, and even the video I showed you guys, you can go back and watch it, that the whole purpose was to create a new race of identity and divide people. And then what do you do to the people of the soil? You cut them from the soil, you cut them away from the soil. And yet here we still stand. My thing to you, to save face and grace, is to wake you up and remind you of how powerful you truly are. We are not human, nor are we mankind. We are beyond them. We've been asleep for a little while. Trust me. Ain't no weapon formed. You should know the rest. I would advise y'all to stop watching movies for about 6 months if you could do that. Spend time with your family and see what happens. Just take the TVs and take them out and put them, sell them. It's like, if everything's going to be all right, you could buy another one. Get rid of the internet, get rid of all that shit. Just get rid of it. I know you're probably saying, what about, when I first moved in here, do you know what I did? The TVs that I came with, I gave one to my Eric Snowden, my other Eric Snowden. I gave him that and all my printers, fax machines, all that stuff. I was in here and I slowly, at an 8-month period, bought about $10,000 worth of furniture. 8 months. I just took my time. Reading, working on models, my slot cars. I got slot cars I build. 124th scale, you know, if I go to California, I might want to go to a slot track or something. I don't know, Las Vegas, where they have to have them. But the thing is, hold on, let me see something. The thing is, that's what I did for 8 months when I first moved here. When I got away from the reservation, still working on my health, going for long walks, so I could start running down the block again until I ran 10 miles. Let me show you something. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I gotta fix you guys up again. All right, this is some of them. I can't pull them all out because the other ones are down in the shed. I'm just gonna share this with you. I know some of y'all like, what is this nigga talking about? See all these right here? These are slot cars I hand built, and I gotta fix them all. I raced them because I had tracks, but these are old. These are about 6-7 years old. These I built these. It's got the motors and everything. I got the controls and everything. And the motors, I put different motors. These things are fast as fuck. They're models. This is another one. I took it apart just because I was changing something from these are real models. But I bought and I changed them out. I bought all the kit and stuff to them. The brushes, everything. Oh, you had to put this stuff all this has to go together. Everything is not. And this is my Chevy. So my lowrider. So I've got tons of them. I've got about 30 of them. And I'll sit down there and solder, weld and change and build. And then I'll pull out my 2 little tracks just to put it on power and just let them run right off the track. Just to make sure that they run, you know. What's one of my favorite ones? Oh, it slid back. One of my badasses. Now all the hoods and everything are in there. I just got to glue everything back. Yeah, man. Now this ain't the models with fucking hundreds and thousands of pieces and shit like that. But again, I've got tons of these things. Oh man. Oh, here goes one of them. I'm gonna show you this one when we get back to reading. So I only got a couple more books to read. Oh, that's my big another one of my RC cars. I build RC cars too, the big ones. I showed y'all the little midget downstairs. I got a Camaro in here. Now, this is one of my favorites. Now, all the hoods came off because I didn't use super glue. This is another one of my lowriders. Motherfuckers are fast. Everybody should be like, yo, what kind of motor you got up in there? I got the legitimate one. I'll probably dust them up and fix them up again and put everything everything is in there. I got a bunch of them. Once I fix these up, I'll put them with the other ones. But that's what I do. Like when I say I work on things, and I got a big ass RC car in there as well that I put together. And for 8 months, no TVs. The Direct TV came out here. I was like, hey, you can hook it up if you want. I don't have no TVs in here, bro. I mean, I got a laptop. I have my tablets. I have things I can watch stuff on. I was like, no. I even still had Netflix, Hulu. I had all that because she was still watching them until I got to one point where I was like, after about 6 months, man, fuck that. Change the account numbers. Pay for own shit. Nasty mother. And that's what I did. Oh, Pearl, thank you for the $5. My apologies. Pearl donated $5. Appreciate you so much. We're getting close. I think I got what? I got $365 to add to the other $365 once we get there and get these books. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the DNA of the Gods, the Anunnaki creation of Eve, and the Alien Battle for Humanity by Chris H. Hardy. Lately, my cat climbs up on the table. I have to put my models up because he wants to grab the motor. He wants to grab a seat. He wants to grab a wheel. I was repairing my model motorcycle, so I got to put one up here. Very intricate in parts and stuff. He wants to jump and grab the damn motorcycle. I'm about ready to see. I haven't hit my cat now, but I'm ready to kill that motherfucker. Look at this. And he's just having fun, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing nothing with intent to harm, and he don't know what shit is. But this motherfucker is tore up from the floor because he jumped up, and when I came in, I saw it on the ground. I said, he jumped way up there. Oh, he got his legs up under him now. I'm talking about you, nigga. Let me show you. I got to put the thing on it right quick. My apologies. This is one of my favorite ones I built. I've got about 6 like this. They were pretty expensive. It's got wires, all that. It's glue and screw. That's ever since the what you call it? This is a eraser. When he jumped up there, he really did a number. When he snatched it from up there, he saw the green. I noticed he kept looking up there, and I was like, what is he doing? And he don't jump up there now. You know, my voice scared the fuck out of him. So yeah. And his sister, I got red, yellow, green, purple. And some of the other ones got the designs, Kawasaki. And this is the Japanese models. These are very, they're not easy to put together with the cowling and all that stuff. The screws, look how small the screw is. See how small the screws are? So, that's what I do. One of the things I do. All right. And I build balsa planes, and I make stuff out of nothing. Oh, excuse me. So let's get into this reading. I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right. 8 months, nothing. And it brought clarity. And I was in the summer, and I was in the sun. I was about 2 shades darker, and I loved every bit of it. I took people on walks with me. Joined the run for 10-mile run. I took people out there running with me. The whole thing. Well, I had to turn it off sometimes because I'd be going up and down these hills, and I had to have both arms are swinging. You know what I'm saying? From somebody who couldn't walk down the block without coughing up a little blood or whatever, I had to be careful. So when I ran my first 2-3 miles, and I said, I'm going to do it again in 2 days, and I was sore. And I had the GoPro on the chest. I had the one up on my head. Yeah, look at me. And everybody was outside going, he's back running, you know. You going to be in a marathon? Fuck out of here, nigga. I'm just trying to make it to the next point. You son of a bitches. Trying to get me back into running with the nation again. No, man. But anyway, that's enough. I've talked your fucking heads off. Anyway, my apologies. Anyway, here we go with Chris Hardy's The Anunnaki Creation of Eve and the Alien Battle for Humanity. When we left off last time, we were at Lugal Zagisi, who certainly, under Inanna's incentive, tried to erase Kish from the map and just angered Enlil and was deposed. Remember? Okay. The gods now want a strong personality able to impose order on the whole of Sumer. And Inanna, who is Ishtar for you Easter celebrating dumbasses, begins to search for the right person. This is how she finds, this is around 2400 before the Common Era, okay? The one who will be crowned as Sargon. Doesn't Sargon sound familiar? A dragon? In old fable stories and movies we saw? Sargon? Come on, people. Okay. Hope y'all paying attention. Sargon 1. Shadow Ken. Does that kind of sound like some Mortal Kombat shit? Anyway, the son of a high priestess who was the cupbearer of the king of Kish, Sargon the Great, who beyond being the commanding overseer of Ishtar, was also the anointed priest of Anu. Holy shit. And the great regent of Enlil. Indeed established a vast united empire that extended to the whole of Sumer and to neighboring countries such as Mari and Elam. But he was cautious to respect the traditional territories of the great gods, whom he bowed to, such as Ninurta, whose land was Lagash and the northeast of Sumer, Marduk in Babylon. Now y'all know DJ, he mentions some of this now. He's very good in the etymology of words and understanding. In Babylon, or Adad, whose region extended from the Euphrates to the Mediterranean coast, and who gave him Mari and some other lands. What's Mari? Sargon ruled for 54 years from the city of Akkad, Arcadia, of Sumer and Akkad, and the Akkadian Empire lasted nearly 120 years, until the destruction of Agad. In Agad, Inanna had a new temple erected for her, the Omash, glittering luxurious. Agad became the center of a highly refined civilization, above and beyond riches. The dwellings of Agad were filled with gold, its brightest shining house were filled with silver. A spiritual and artistic culture flourished. The Sargon Chronicle describes Agad thus as, its old men were endowed with wisdom, its old women were endowed with eloquence. The city was full of music, but Sargon's reign and fortunes came to an abrupt end when he decided to build a gateway to the heavens. Jacob's ladder, sound familiar? Babylon, Bebeli, that's what they call it. As was it, that's if I'm wrong, then y'all correct me if you're looking into this stuff. As was the Esagil in Babylon. See, I think it's Babeli, what Babylon was called. Babeli, Babili. Look it up. Deserted by Marduk for a few centuries, and to attract and get the power that was in the Esagil. He went to steal some soil and brought it back to serve as foundation soil for his temple near Agade. But this, viewed as a desecration and a defilement by Marduk, enraged him and brought him back on the scene in Sumer. Marduk then launched a war of harassment, making Sargon's populations hungry to the point that they revolted against him. One city after the other, from the east to the west, he alienated them from Sargon. And upon him he inflicted the punishment that he could not rest. And Sargon died the same year. Doesn't that sound like some shit they're trying right now? You might have a fridge with a little bit of shit in it, maybe some marmalade and some shit like that in mason jars put aside. You might have a little garden growing and shit. No preparation, no thought to build a little greenhouse for the fucking winter or how to move it inside. One of them Walmart greenhouses. Get rid of the living room furniture and shit like that. I know you're not thinking about that. Some rifles and some guns and training. some survival food. You know what I'm saying? Big buckets and cans. I know none of you are thinking about that. I know you motherfuckers are just, oh, we're carefree, we're good to go. You know, hold on to that shit. I've been in places where I've seen shit in a fraction of a second go from, oh shit, we got to get back. Boom. We had the legs up under us. Okay, let me go ahead and finish. So I'll get caught up in that. It is soon afterward that Nergal will be sent on a mission by the Assembly to ask Marduk to again leave Sumer, and that he will start desecrating and destroying the Esigil temple. Before being stopped and ordered out of Sumer by his father Enki. But Nergal, check this out, will leave behind his troops and followers, who will become a people devoted to him and implanted in Sumer. What are we dealing with right now? So-called imaginary borders to make motherfuckers want to be in a place. How about people who are sleepers? Motherfuckers war's been against and their children are angry. Led up onto the soil, murderers and killers, people who've hacked, cut up people. And our people that's been running around worrying about twerking booties and who's a man and who's a woman and all. Our people caught up in that shit. That's why every time I see some of y'all in Georgia tolerating that bullshit, that's nothing but a big-ass killing field. Nothing but a big-ass killing field. I talked to Rebel, get the fuck up out of Atlanta, and a few other people. Them motherfuckers stuck. I don't know what's going on with y'all, man. And everybody's got an excuse like they know shit and don't know nothing. They haven't studied no war, no Sun Tzu, no nothing. And then act like we don't know what we're talking about. Call we veterans or we were street fighters and everything else. Drug dealers, like we don't have a clue. After Marduk's departure from Sumer, Inanna regained the kingship for a god and put on his throne Naram Sin, grandson of Sargon I. In parallel, she made an alliance with Nergal against their common enemy, Marduk. Now, Inanna's ambitions had no limits. She wanted to attain the full supremacy over other gods and build an empire vaster than that of Sargon. She launched wars of conquest without respecting other gods, territories, pushing and manipulating her puppet and lover Naram Sin to attack countries and cities, conquering them ruthlessly. Furthermore, Nergal opened for her the path of conquest in Canaan, Lebanon, and even Africa, lands in which he had a footing. She conquered the landing place in Lebanon, Baalbak, and then the cities more south along the coast. Then she marched against Jericho, the city of date palms, dedicated to Sin, her father Nanna. That's when Jericho shifted allegiance from Nannar to Ishtar and Nana. Then she pushed Naram Sin to enter the restricted territory of the spaceport in the Sinai and to move even farther southward west to invade Magan, Egypt. According to Sitchin, it is not clear what places were conquered in the Sinai and in Egypt, but this was the first time ever that an earthling king dared penetrate and attack the territories of the gods, Sinai and Egypt. We know something different, but it's all right. Whenever we read stuff like this, we think plural, like, okay, one place. Now, if you know war and maneuver strategies, you attack 4 different places at one time. So if they're stating attack Sinai, it's a peninsula, it's a plain. Of Egypt, a grassy place, it's not desert. Then you attack all of them. Marry, no location, nothing about over there and nothing like that. The other lands. Was you paying attention? And it corresponds in Egypt to a period of disorder. And some of you seen the maps. When I say a Mary or Mary, it'd be A-M-A-R-I or M-E-R-I. All right. Anyway, Egypt to a period of disorder. known as the first intermediate period that started after the fall of the Sixth Dynasty. And what do we know about the Sixth Dynasty in the land now they now call China, in the land of the Ji? Anyway, and during which the supremacy shifted from the north, Heliopolis or Memphis, to Thebes in the south, Thebes. And at this time, Nergal became all influential in Canaan and Africa from his temple abode at Kutha. So it's two different places. Naram Sin says the Kuthian legend of Naram Sin, during a visit to Kutha, erected a stela dedicated to Nergal that attributed his conquest to this god's help. At first, the gods residing in Sumer proper were unable to resist Inanna's attacks and fled before her like fluttering bats. But she stepped up her war of conquest and multiplied her attacks and defilement of ancient strongholds and sacred temples. She declared herself to be the supreme deity, greater than Anu, defying the authority of Anu and Enlil. She decided to overthrow the icons of their power, and she herself attacked and destroyed the house of Anu. Her ancient temple abode, the Eanna, that was given to her by Anu, simultaneously assaulting the population of Erech, her ancient city and eager devotees, and she makes them captive. In parallel, she directed Naram Sin to destroy the Ikur and Nippur, an Enlil's seat of power. And that's from Wars, page 261. I already read it too. So we're gonna get into that book pretty soon. So we're gonna stop right there. That's pretty friggin' powerful, right? Put you guys back, man. Y'all in the way, cuz. That's some pretty powerful stuff right there, ain't it? That's pretty powerful, man. Oh man, it's gonna get good. Oh yeah. The other thing is, when you have people who can actually break down some of the words that I'm speaking, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, DJ, he's pretty good with etymology and all that kind of stuff. And some of these words might make a lot more sense to him. Now, I know about a lot of these words, but I'm not going to do all that. Oh, God. All right, the Book of Giants, the Watchers, Nephilim, and the Book of Enoch. Let's get right into this one. Okay. For the sun makes many revolutions when we last left off, to reiterate. Thanks and praise and rest not, but their thanksgiving is forever and ever. Now we're talking about the Lord of Spirits traverse the paths of the righteous, okay? For the sun makes many revolutions for a blessing or a curse. And the curse and the course and then the course of the path of the moon is light to the righteous and darkness to the sinners. In the name of the Lord, who made a separation between the light and the darkness, and divided the spirits of men and strengthened the spirits of the righteous in the name of his righteousness. No, what does that allude to? Well, that's one of the New Testament shits, Matthew 5:44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For no angel hinders, and no power is able to hinder. For he appoints a judge for them all, and he judges them all himself. And that's different. That's different from the Bible, y'all. Wisdom found no place where she might dwell. Wisdom found no place where she might dwell. Then a dwelling place was assigned her in heavens. Who is this? Who is this wisdom? Wisdom went out to make her dwelling among the children of men, and found no dwelling place. And wisdom returned to her place and took her seat among the angels. And unrighteousness went out from her storehouses. She found those she did not seek and dwelt with them. She sought no one in particular, but found a place, as rain in a desert and dew on a thirsty land. Phew, shit. And I saw other lightning and the stars of heaven, and I saw how he called them all by their names, and they obeyed him. And I saw how they are weighed in a righteous balance according to their proportions of light. I saw the width of their spaces and the day of their appearing, and how their revolution produces lightning. What in the fuck is that? Because that is not what we think it is. Their revolutions, how their revolution produces lightning. And I saw their revolution according to the number of the angels, and how they keep faith with each other. And I asked the angel who went with me, who showed me what was hidden, "What are these?" And he said to me, "The Lord of Spirits has shown you their parable. These are the names of the holy who dwell on the earth and believe in the name of the Lord of Spirits forever and ever." It's totally different meaning from what it says, y'all. That's why I say it's important. I need to really get out that Sumerian tablet shit and read that to y'all. Also, another phenomenon I saw in regard to the lightning, how some of the stars arise and become lightning and cannot part with their new form. And this is the second parable concerning those who deny the name of the dwelling of the holy ones and the creator of spirits. They shall not ascend to heaven, and they shall not come on the earth. Such shall be the lot of the sinners who have denied the name of the host of spirits, who are preserved for the day of suffering and tribulations. That's stuck in a certain place. Stuck. What does that mean? Does it mean like stuck floating in something? No, it means held right where the fuck ever it is. In that pain, in that vial, that jannah, that darkness, in that abode, the murk and mire, in the gulf, the empty gulf, in that place, a construct, something actually physical. We just can't see it. On the day my elect one shall sit on the throne, all this glory, I can't stand how they use all these goddamn words, these peckerwoods when they write shit. Anyway, throne of glory, and shall try the works of the righteous, and their places of rest shall be innumerable, and their souls shall grow strong within them when they see my elect one, and those who have called on my glorious name. Then I will cause my elect one to dwell among them. I will transform heaven and make it an eternal blessing and light. And I will transform the earth and make it a blessing. And I will cause my elect ones to dwell on it. But the sinners and evildoers shall not set foot on it. For I have seen and satisfied my righteous ones with peace, and have caused them to dwell before me. Before the sinners there is judgment impending with me, so that I shall destroy them from the face of the earth. What does it say about Enoch being? Some people say Anunnaki. I say Anakin. Why do I say that? Because most people still only believe that this is one Earth. Even the ones who believe the Earth is flat now, and they believe there's a dome over us. When I tell you there are other Earths with domes, and we may have done it at one time, traversed through the membrane, the waters, above as below. But there's a greater dome over all of us. A greater dome. You can't even imagine the height, its existence. You see what I'm saying? And I believe this. I have my reasons to. I've seen enough carvings and writings and things that made me question a lot of things. And then to be able to, then, you know, when you seek things out, you come across it. I didn't just come across Lost Confounding. I mean, like out of nowhere. I didn't go looking for it. It literally showed up in my lap. I didn't mention nothing. I didn't say nothing. I don't be all that flat earth shit on Facebook and all that crap. I just share other people's stuff. Then all of a sudden, I'm in a bookstore. And I'm like, this is in Espanol? Oh, we have it in English over here. Let me get one of each. And then I ordered the other ones, because that one I physically bought in English and Spanish and in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? And so I ordered the other ones because the back of the book it says, "Oh, get these." And then I found out they had two more. I'm still waiting on them motherfuckers now. Anyway, Exposing the Expositions, 1851-1950, revised edition, 2021, from 2019, when the fake demic started, by Howdy Mikowski. But yeah, but you know, I was going to comment on the last part of that. It's just like when I'm reading about the Anunnaki, this and another. These individuals have put their spin on it, and you can always hear it, and that's what's disturbing to me. When they put their little spin on everything, and it's detestable. All right. Damn it, didn't I mark it? Oh, don't tell me I didn't mark it, man. Red, you're slacking, boy. Anyway, reset. My apologies. ADD. 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 I have chosen to leave this section exactly as I wrote it, to see how early prophetic these paragraphs turned out to be. In the late summer of 2019, the word reset was only something used occasionally on alternative historical websites and YouTube channels. By 2021, this word has taken on a new meaning in the general population. Yeah, Charles Schwab came out and just threw it all over the place. We knew about the Illuminati and all them fucktards, and Bush, Obama, and them fuck faces. But anyway, in the alternate historical context, the word reset refers to something similar as it does in computer terminology. When your computer freezes, or the game you are playing is no longer interesting, you do a reset and start over from the beginning. I think we just need to do a reboot. This theory claims that a group of beings control the actions of this planet, or perhaps a series of cycles that are built into the timeline system and can be foretold by reading what Crow 777 likes to call the sky clock. If it is a force of controlling groups behind it, then it is quite clear that it has only one thing in mind: its own benefit and survival. Wow. And that's Crow with 2 R's. When things seem to go too far, and in parentheses it states, humans know too much of what is going on, and the system is shut down and repopulated, and in parentheses, with many ignorant of the past, and become unknowing slaves for the in-between elite. Or in our recent case, we have been given more daily choices to give to appearance of being completely free. In the 1800s, this can link to the strange orphan trains, seemingly thousands of children being sent on trains to Western U.S. cities, though there is no real good answer as to where all these children came from, or why all of a sudden in the 1800s was a need for massive orphanages. It is like some sort of virus came and wiped out all the adult population, leaving only tens of thousands of children alive. A population of just children would be rather easy to brainwash into believing any story of the past you wanted. The other thing that arises at this time are insane asylums, hundreds of them, all in what we today would call giant palaces. First, why the need for so many, and why must they all rival Buckingham Palace for the size and ornateness? I'm great. I knew my great uncles. They let you know they saw some weird shit. The orphan trains were one thing here, but I hope he mentions the orphan boats, to which his ass probably came upon. I think they were not the original function, but old buildings that were confiscated for a new purpose. The insane asylums were for anyone who was not agreeing with the new story being presented for history. If you what was I just look? If you remember the old magnificence of the buildings and who really lived there and how to use the energy, not go along with the new story, you were deemed crazy. You were put in the insane asylum so as no one could hear your old memories. The same thing basically happened to the native Indians who were sent to reservations to be hidden away from the rest of society, and their children sent to schools where they were tortured into forgetting everything about their culture. No, we already know. See, that's with Mikowski, and I've been writing him. That's where he fucked up. Us, wars, yes. Them taught new history, new identities. That was the purpose of the boats, bringing over these Mongrels and Mongols. And the Ashkenaz, those are their cousins, and they used them as such. God damn it. This is where he fucks up. When you become an atheist and you do a lot of studying and stuff, you kind of slip up and fuck up because you're not really paying attention. You're too enamored with your beliefs, which is not a bad thing until you overstep your boundaries. Okay, who were sent to reservations to be hidden away from the rest of society, and their children sent to schools where they were tortured into forgetting everything about their culture. Actually, they were taught to be who they are for the reservations. Stupid motherfucker. What we call natives might either be groups on the periphery of the old ancient civilization, a sort of land nature direct caretaker for the main cities, or it could in fact be the old civilization who survived the attacks and were driven out of their cities to survive as long as they could in the wilds. Nope. I also feel that stories such as the Cathars, because they didn't know how to build shit. Why don't we rebuild every goddamn thing after the goddamn Civil War? Fictional Civil War at that. It was a war against us. Who had to rebuild it all? Anyway, that shows you anyway, I'll just write another letter to his ass. Anyway, I also feel that the stories such as the Cathars and Knights Templar and others are not separate events, but all a part of the same destruction of humanity in the last reset, and may have all taken place much later than currently presented, even as recent as between 1615 and 1812. No shit. I see several of these resets happening over history. One was at the end of the pyramid building period. Another may have happened at the end of the temple building period, and another more recent one at the end of what might be called the post-Greco-Roman period. This theory leaves far more credence to what we call life on Earth, more being some type of an experiment or computer simulation, controlled by basic coding laws of nature that can get bent by the outside forces to control the game or experiment. It seems we too have some ability to hack into the same mainframe as the influencers and alter things along the way. The great alchemists. I've been telling the women, I've been giving you directions on what to do, and I know the men ain't listening, only a handful probably. Pythagoras, and such may have learned their own way to hack into the mainframes of reality and make changes as needed. Now, I've been telling y'all what to do. Now, I'm not going to say no more because the motherfuckers are looking at me. Not that I give a fuck, but I've been telling you motherfuckers what to do. How to awaken your senses, what you need to do. And some of you know, I know some of you ain't going to be able to change. You ain't going to be able to put down your pork sandwich. Fine. I know you ain't fasting. I know a bunch of you motherfuckers get up and you feel fatigued and tired. Well, now you need to wash the new clothes. You need to stop using certain dyes and scents and scent stuff and shit like that in your laundry detergents. Women, when you wash clothes, if you got a full load, it only takes a cup of detergent. You need to aerate. It needs to irrigate and get through all the fabric. You put too much soap, and I see women at the laundromat putting like 4-5 different things, and then I'm like, motherfucking, no wonder their skin itching and shit. But I'm just letting you know. I know a lot of you aren't purifying your water. I know that you're getting water with plastic and all that shit in it. And some of that water is straight up toilet water. You can still get a tester and test the water, the alkalinity of it. All right. Acidic water is bad for you. You have the proper acidity in your body. You want to keep it balanced. Okay. PSH and pH, man and woman, right? But it's not just that. How many of you have been hyperventilating without being angry and mad? Breathing, deep breathing, checking yourself, stretching. You don't have to stretch every goddamn day. How many of y'all been doing calisthenics? Just getting a towel and holding the towel in the front and pulling it apart and putting it behind your back and pulling up this way, Or how about sitting back in the chair and going like this without leaning all the way back? Just going like this, just for a minute. Not leaning, don't touch the back, just lean back, right? Just lean back, don't touch the back, and just side to side with your ass on the edge of the chair, all right? How many of y'all sit in your chair and just do leg lifts for like 2 minutes? I'm serious. Sorry, Papa. All right? How many of you, like me, once or twice a day, I got to have ginger with either lemon or lime. It helps keeps my stomach balanced. Not all gassy, because y'all see I burp a lot, right? Because I eat a lot of roughage. I eat a lot of rabbit food. But I'm still having some steaks. I still got a few. I gave all the crap that I had, but the freezer shit, I'm eating the shit, all right? But when you go full vegan, take 2 days of no food at all. Take 2 days and nothing at all, just sipping on shit. And if you have if you can get it, plant-based liquid capsules of magnesium and potassium, you're going to need those for the 2 days you choose not to eat while you're fasting. And don't overburden yourself with water. Get you a mint leaf and suck on the mint leaf. Take them tablets every morning so that way you don't cramp, you're not beating your heart up, and meditate, get buck ass naked, go in the room, close the door, every motherfucking body leave me the fuck alone. Get in there and stay in there for 3 or 4 hours. Just lay down and breathe. Close your eyes, whether you fall asleep or whatever. Control your destiny. Know that it was with purpose and be refreshed. Don't talk about it with people. Don't say, I was fasting and like you great. It's not how it works. When you do that, you've given up your power. You have not attained shit. You let go. You're falling, going everything. Get your damn feet in that motherfucker. Y'all saw me doing it too in the wintertime. Y'all saw me literally go outside. I shared it with you motherfuckers. In the snow, in the rain, it didn't matter, in the mud, out there, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking minutes. People walking by me going to work like they were scared as fuck. I got trinkets hanging on my door outside. Nobody's stealing shit. Footprint with rocks in a circle. My handprints, circles I make with, I'm not going to go through all of it right here. And the fact that I chat into the wind, that I have a few trees that I hug. I walk up to in shorts, no shirt on, no socks, looking like motherfucking Gunga Dan or Tarzan, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm hugged up with the tree. Hey, right now I got not aphids, but I got them little bugs jumping on me and shit when I'm hugged up with the tree. I don't even bother me. I go over to the ferns and the bushes. I walk through and touch them with both my hands. And I say, thank you. How many of y'all doing that? With purpose or meaning. Not worried about the people looking. With no care of no what. If you got a home and you live, oh man, I live in the projects. Get the fuck out the projects. Motherfucker, that's bomb central. Stop being stupid. But I can't. That I can is defeatist mentality. Motherfuckers right now got jobs, and instead of saving their money to get the fuck away, no matter what, fear overtakes everybody. You dig what I'm saying? And we're at the crux. I'm always saying fear cannot control you. You need to let go. You got to do something. They made it. I'm not going to sit here and lie like they haven't made it challenging or hard. Of course. But imagine the day when you can't move because they got Hummers and tanks and shit all and blackbirds and things flying around that you ain't never seen. Stay in the city. Stay in your town. Going door to door. taking motherfuckers out to places, executing, waiting till that happens. Is that what you want to wait for? You think it's not going to happen, right? I know how it ends. I know how it can end. Keep holding on to your fake ass belief then. Keep thinking you're gonna be caught up in a, you want to get caught up in a rapture, all right, goddamn. Shit. Motherfuckers getting caught up in raptures every goddamn day. Go look at Sudan. Go look at Ukraine and man, them ain't the only places, you know. Are y'all aware of that? Look at what some of these pale devils are doing, and some of these very dark melanated devils. This one, they need everybody divided to do the dumb shit they doing. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't have Maxine Waters and Lori Lightfoots and all these dumb motherfuckers. Don Lemon, like I give a fuck about that booty hole bandit. Fuck him. See, this is what I'm saying. Nobody's really looking at the picture how it should be looked at. And these goddamn actors and actresses, they got everybody going, oh man, not Don Lemon's going. Who the fuck gives a fuck? Oh man, Fox got rid of. So what? He played his part. God damn it. Then y'all's AOC, that goofy bitch. Look, I'm so grateful that so many of y'all have woken up and you realize and see the shit for what it is. But there's still some task at hand. Now, I'm going to show some things on here, but I choose not to. Because that's too much. You know, you can't show certain things you just can't show. My hobbies, that ain't nothing. You know, maybe I want to sit down one day and show y'all as I work on something, solder and shit together or something. I can't let you see what it might be, but, you know, just everybody thinks I'm going to work, raising my family. Well, if they're living a lie, yeah, you're raising them. You're tearing them down, all right? And if you, that job, what we call a job, which is actually a slavery. I mean, if that's, and you haven't done nothing to hold on to anything, you've been going out partying, buying the latest new designer clothes, you better start buying some of that shit that don't have no name on it. You know, $5 pants, sweatsuits and shit. Get for real, man. And then y'all go out. I was over here and I was hearing a woman, someone, baby, you taking me out later on? I was like, y'all better go over there and get y'all a head of cabbage, some broccoli and carrots and chop that shit up and fucking get you some of them goddamn chicken flings over there for $3-4 a pound and fucking take your ass home. So what you gonna go out spend $40-50 for fucking what? For a whole bunch of soy and GMO and chemicals and shit to keep you balanced, to keep your body imbalanced and fucked up. Now I say shit like that. And then I get the fucking, I can't stand all these goddamn people walking around. But yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody that came in. Sign the fuck off. Prompt. Oh, why am I still getting notes from that motherfucker? But anyway, I appreciate the donations. Pearl, again, I want to thank you. Tablet's right there with the light on. I want to thank you again for the donation. I really appreciate it. Like I said, anybody, my apologies. I'm just going to read. All right, soon enough. I'm still aware of what's going on in this world. All right. But I need to just get to the point where I'm just reading. Okay. And that's what I have to do. Stop talking about we're going to read these books, go into it. But I have a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, y'all know, for some of you who don't know, some of you new subscribers, I appreciate you all coming in and being here. I really want to get a lot of people together. I wanted to show them what direction to actually face. I wanted to show them things with no cell phones or nothing. Show them the fire, how to do the fire. You can say it's ceremonial, what directions to walk, how many times, why it's important. I'm not going to teach that on here. But everybody's, you know, you're grafted into their world. It really would have been nice. I mean, it's warm now. I was talking about it, hoping that people would prepare and get themselves together And you see what they're giving. I'm telling you, July is going to be a whole different fucking ball game, people. You don't have to believe me. A lot of us knew when the fake demic came out, we knew it was going to happen. We talked about it and everybody said on Facebook, "Oh, nigga, you crazy." And then all of a sudden Trump was hit, and all of a sudden we had this shit talking about it. And I was like, oh shit. And so me and my boys like, yo, you think this is it? I think this is it, motherfucker. And then we saw Fauci come up, and we remember what that nigga said about the importance of being in the papers. His whole tone from the videos we watched to him in the 80s and shit like that, 70s and 80s, changed. I said, this is it, y'all. And we was all looking at each other. And I started pulling out my armor plates and putting my shit together. I was like, I'm gonna have this shit sitting by the bed ready. My motherfucking ballistic helmet. I had an old thermal, bought a brand new for damn near $5,000, so I could see a motherfucker. I got Milo. I know how to hide from a thermal, y'all. Not everybody do. But I got my fucking, yo, man. They got drones that can fly like 8,000, 10,000 together, and every one of them motherfuckers could be a bomb in it. And they could fly around and start just zip, 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 boom, 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 blowing your fucking cap off. They got all kind of weird shit now. And y'all don't know the importance of coming together. That alone would have changed something. But y'all are so ignorant and stuck on it. That alone would have changed something. They would have said, look at how they move. Especially the original people of the soil. But anyway, shout outs. Let me shut the fuck up. You know, I don't want to waste y'all's time with any more words. So I got you, Patricia, Humbra, West Side, Alicia and Benji, Scott, Herbo, Shao Khan. Come here. You was paying attention. I know you was, brother. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Joshua was cracking. Patricia Slade. That's my sis right there. What in the hell? Let me see. I think my screen, I gotta dump it because it's acting weird, y'all. AOC is Babe's Bunny. Are you serious? What happened? Oh, okay, there we go. Benji Benj. Get y'all tail feathers out there if y'all coming. Better. That's all I'm gonna say. And you know you're gonna have the people say, well, shit, y'all might get hit and okay, whatever. They get hit every fucking body. And what the fuck? But you ain't learning shit where you at. You see how we had the little goofy motherfucker that followed Phoenix and them still come on and say something like you're doing a war chant, goofy ass motherfucker. I was like, who's this retarded motherfucker that don't know us because the niggas like, I said that word nigga. Because of brothers like me, Agidois or Nafkis or Akams or whatever you want to say, like myself, that have been keeping this going. And I'm not trying to claim no fame. I really have. And there's motherfuckers from my hood that come and be like, oh, Rick, man, that engine shit, man, look, man, all that shit he's saying, yeah, man, I've been doing this for all my fucking life. Because when I realized that not everybody knew what I knew, I was like, what the fuck happened? And then there was a period of time when I was like, I don't say shit. And then when I was talking about, I was like, nigga, we ain't from no goddamn Africa, 19, 20 years old. Nigga, we ain't going from goddamn Africa. What the fuck is you doing? Maybe you is, you stupid motherfucker. And that's when I started getting deep in people's asses. A couple of fisticuffs, good ones too. And then it got to the point when motherfucker wouldn't even say something from Africa around me. Motherfucker would hide their green, black, and red flag. Red gonna knock you out. I'm serious. You don't have to believe me. It don't matter. It's not about that. I'm telling you the truth. I ain't lying at all. Shit still tickles me. But anyway, I'm gonna sign up off this motherfucker. I appreciate y'all coming in. Finish my drink. I ain't taking no pills tonight, goddammit. In the AM, get up. You know, it'd be, come on, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my grandma gear shit in the morning. But I'm gonna attempt when I come on for the reading, I'm just gonna have all the books lined up. Well, they're all around me anyway. And I'm just gonna fucking read. I'm gonna do my best. Okay? Now, when I'm reading, though, I'm gonna mention shit. And it's for you, whether it's funny or whatever. You know already how I feel about certain words. God, Lord, I think that was to make us be obedient to some bullshit. And at the same time, to dismiss something greater than us, but not really knowing the truth. I believe something is here that shouldn't be here. I believe things have happened. Manipulations. I've talked about the X chain being capped off. Memory loss. But I've been teaching you how to tap back into those memories. If you don't want to do the eye to eye, you don't want to do the mirror and look at yourself or with your partner, your friend, or your son or your daughter. If you want to learn how to make that eye to eye contact, if you don't want to take those cold showers to snap yourself up out of it, I don't know any other way. Yeah, meditate, yoga, blah, blah, blah. Fuck all that. You got to do other things. Cold water shocks the system. It's almost like it releases DMT. It kills you for a moment. And then all the thoughts disappear. Then it's about breathing. And then you get to the point when you do it a number of times and you realize it's not about time. Because first you're like, can I make it a minute? And you want to give in. Oh, you walk up, freezing. You make it worse. But then you go back the next day and you walk out into that cold lake again. Sit your ass down in it. And it's different from the first 2 days. And you made it 2 and 3 minutes. Then you learn to get control of your breathing around the 10th time you walk out in that cold, or you sit your ass in a cold tub with a bag of ice. You bring it in while it's cold and you fight through it. But your brain, there's clarity. You feel different. You feel more energetic, more alive, more woke. And you learn how to breathe. Not like this. Like this. Let your mind go blank. Literally let your mind go blank. Now I'm talking, right? But imagine talking and not thinking of nothing. You say, but you got to think to talk. No, it's not. No, you don't. This is already known. Your mouth, you've been doing this all your life. From the moment you've learned, from the gagas and the boo-hoo-has and all that other shit, pulling a blank, allowing everything. Right now my head feels empty. And then what I do is where the darkness is, I spoke in there's light, right? I allow colors to come in. And when the colors come in, then it's refreshing. I can feel it. The colors, you could feel them. Now that's at 440, right? We know that regardless how beautiful the music is. We know it's at 440. The thing is now, how do we distinguish the sound? You have a ringing in your ear. It's not a ringing like, it's like a finite tone. Do you know what that tone is? That you hear all the time. It's like a deep trombone whistle. Like some higher, some lower. That is your frequency. And it's disturbed. You have to tie into that and know how to learn how to make it loud, uncomfortable, and quiet. That's breathing. No, it's in you. It's not. No, it's in you. It's you're vibrating. It's the sound that's being made by you. The cochlea, the 3 bones, your brain, your body's making it. You literally hear it. You just don't unaware that it's your frequency. You magnify it. You decrease it, and you be Give it a try. But good guess, though. When I used to break boards, especially with the 2-finger board break, I used to make it real loud. Because any other time I would think about, all right, it's going to be pain, and I'm going to break something. You've been conditioning. You cut your nails off, not to where you hit the quick of your skin and everything, so you're good. You've been using the liniment. You've been practicing on the Macawar and the iron and the chip bags and all that. You've been tapping on the bare part of the tree that you made a little spot in over 3 or 4 years. I increase it. See the target. Brother's holding it. I pull the blank, and I literally allow a flash to come over. Pow! Right through it. People record. They're going, hey, did he just... That's not the breakable boards. He broke a real board with his 2 fingers. And my ex-wife, she's like, she recorded. She was like, yeah, baby, yeah. And I was like, and then I was like, okay, now, okay, nothing jammed back or nothing. All right, I did it. You want to do it again? No, there's a lot of prep going into that shit. I'm good. Some people would sit there and go, it's precision, it's time. No, motherfucker. I went through a goddamn piece of pine goddamn board, and I went against the grain and broke it against the fucking grain. That's the bottom line. With an ensemble of everyone watching, with doubt. And I didn't allow their doubt to become, I didn't magnify their doubt to become my doubt. I listened to what the Korean guy taught me. My vision of becoming a Sabanam, with the Kwanjanum there, with amongst all the other Sabanams. And I thought about General Chi Hil Yi. That's what I call him, the one who created Taekwondo. I remember him fighting even when he had cancer. Excuse me for chopping his name up. I'm pissed off that he's gone. He was a great man. He was a great man, a wonderful man. And I remember Grandmaster Cam Lee. He said, "Never focus on the target. Know where the target's at. Take a deep breath. Pull up in your key. Your key is your frequency, your chakra, centering, ascension, descension." And I remember just allowing myself to increase in that volume. That means bringing myself up to a higher vibration. And I had become focused. And everybody was like, dude, that was so fast. I was like, I wasn't even thinking, but afterwards I was like, I must have been thinking. This is what we make excuses for things. I was sitting there saying, I must have made myself think that I had to be faster than the board to go through it. And it was vibration, it's frequencies. I'm telling you, when these young people think it's youth that's allowing them to jump off of shit and land without their knees being hurt, they're at a different frequency. That's why I say stop going with this happy birthdays and age shit. It's not what it's about. That's their lie. That's the enemy's lie. When I told people, you got a liver transplant? Are you aware that by using a shot glass of beet juice every day, just 1 ounce, and then minutes or 2, and then getting away from red meat and leaving fish alone for a little while, and eating raw fruits twice a day and getting about 10 hours, 12 hours sleep, you would have regenerated your liver and complete? I know that because I did it with my lungs. And if I'm lying, call me on it. Anyway, my beloved sisters and my wonderful brothers, you already know it's 2 and 1. Maybe more people will get it. Maybe the fuck they won't. You know what I'm saying? Wind whistle. I like that, Patricia Slade. I really do. AOC is Babe's Bunny. Who is that, hon? Who is that? Who's Babe's Bunny? I saw that. I didn't. Well, anyway, answer that. Reply to that later on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Go down here, and I gotta eat me a bell pepper or something. I got a red onion. All right. So, see y'all in the AM. I try and come. I meant Babs, but oh, okay, okay. All right. And, AOC is a fucking idiot. But anyway, all of them are. But anyway, appreciate y'all hanging in there. All right. With this old man. I ain't no old man. Fuck out of here with that shit. I'll chat with y'all tomorrow.